This conference will now be
We're
recorded.
going to do the swearing in before the meeting actually technically starts.
Okay.
It's good that way.
And me?
All right.
Shiny shoes. I know.
Pour him in good.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Sean Carnahan,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the state of Oregon,
and the state of Oregon,
and that I will faithfully perform
and I will faithfully perform
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
the duties of Chief of Police of the city of Vernonia,
the duties of Chief of Police of the city of Vernonia,
so long as I may continue in that capacity.
so long as I may continue in that capacity.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to do this?
Yep. You're going to do it right in the throat. Stand sideways. Can't see.
Isn't official unless there's blood.
Maybe. Probably not his.
Those holes are hard to hit. Hey, you got it.
All right. Nice, Dad. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody showing up. Can't get out of here without thanking a few people. Want to thank City Council, Lizette, for giving me the opportunity to take this position. Got to thank my dad. I wouldn't be the person that I am if it wasn't for you. My family, especially my wife and my kids, for, all the sacrifices that they've had to take for me not being there. And last of all, my team. Couldn't do this job without you, especially Eva. Thank you very much. So,
Yeah. Go party it up.
don't tell me twice.
Pull out them to first.
Good job, Dad.
You leaving too?
Yeah.
Okay, see you. Good night, George. Okay. Come by tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll call to order the June 15th, 2026 regular council meeting to order at 6:30 PM. I'll rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On just a more somber note, I'd like to take a moment to reflect in a moment of silence for the city of St. Helens and losing their city administrator, John Walsh. So I'd like to direct our thoughts and prayers to his family and immediate friends and the city of St. Helens. So. Thank you very much. Okay, any additions or corrections to the agenda tonight? Okay, motion to approve the agenda is written.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Aye.
Sorry, Susan's on.
Oh, Susan.
Oh, Susan.
Susan's on.
Welcome, Susan. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Moving right into the mayor's report. Counselor Norman has the honors this month, so turn it over to Donald.
Okay, for the citizen of the month for June, I picked Jack Lindsley. I've known him for years and he's an old timer. And it goes back so far to be an old timer, as some of us know, the JCs.
Oh.
Back when they had all the boat races down the river from Vernonia to Big Eddy. Was a big event for many, many years. And he served for the JCs. He served the seniors board. He did some Meals on Wheels. He was a pastor at the Foursquare Church and a chaplain for the fire department, which helps all of our community out, which is good. So I would like to present him with this award, Citizen of the Month of June for Jack Lindsay.
More pictures.
We'll spin around here where they can get a picture, right?
I'm videoing.
But this way, guys. Great, thank you.
My pleasure. You're welcome, Jackie.
Congratulations, Jack. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Donald.
You're welcome.
Any presentations tonight? No. Any council committee meeting reports? No.
I do.
Oh, okay.
So the library committee met week and a half ago. And they're a really great committee. I'm really impressed by them. There was a lot of discussion about the summer reading program. I'm sorry, I do not have my notes with me. I'm in Colorado. But they also talked about the good turnout for potential people to be hired for the part-time assistant. And they have some plans for future fun events for the kids and supporting that, as well as they talked about the importance of having the display in the library and the various things that they offer to the kids and the public to be able to see there. And if there's anything else that I missed, I will bring it up at the next meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Susan. Okay, topics on the floor tonight.
I have one.
Okay,
Erica Johansson.
you want to come forward, Erica? Just state your name. You just don't have, not your address or anything.
Okay, Erica Johansson, and I came to talk to you guys maybe about an alternate plan to have a lifeguard at Dewey Pool, because it seems like there's some insurance regulation issues. So.
I told her it was okay to pass them out.
I was looking into what we could do. I know there's been some issues down there, maybe with kids bullying and horseplay and all that kind of stuff. I've noticed Dewey Pool has gone downhill a little bit over the last few years. And by saying, hey, let's get a lifeguard, That was something that they used to manage, was cleaning the baby pool, and so that there wouldn't be the slimy issue. Kids running around, they tell them to walk, don't run, get off the dam, that kind of stuff. So anyways, I was looking into this, and HOAs will hire a pool monitor when they cannot afford to have a lifeguard due to insurance reasons or the cost. And so a pool monitor can do 9 out of 10 things that a lifeguard can't. They can't be a lifeguard and run in there and jump and save somebody. That you would still have the signs up that say swim at your own risk. But maybe what we need down there is a park host, so to speak, during the peak hours or the peak time during the year when we have a pool up for safety standards. And so I was looking at it, and if we did something like the financial cost, I would believe would be less than $7,000. If you did 10 weeks of somebody being there 30 hours a week or 2 people, you're looking at $4,800 plus the employment taxes like Social Security and all that. And if you did a schedule like Wednesday through Sunday from 12 to 6, that would cover people, tourists coming in on Saturdays and Sundays to use our pool. Because some want to come use a pool like ours. We have a one-of-a-kind pool. There's another place down in California that dams up their Russian River. They do lifeguards. It's free to the public to come use along those lines. But maybe we can't do that. Maybe we need to do something in between. And so a pool monitor could keep watch over the pool in the recreational area and ensure safety protocol. Could help the park guests maintain the park cleanliness and wading pool cleanliness to prevent accidents and slipping. I don't know if any of you have ever been in that baby pool when it's not cleaned. And I talked to the parks department. They clean it when they put up the dam, and that's it. They don't clean it the rest of the summer. So that's a concern for me, not just somebody drowning, but a little kid slipping and hitting their head along those. And I got some public comments that I put in there that you could look at too. When the Parks Committee looked at getting a lifeguard and they thought maybe 10,000 would work, if you look in your paperwork, there was the budget that we were looking at, and there was 16,000 in contingency. That would be your fourth page. So they were looking at maybe there would be some funding there to do this, to have something for safety protocol in place. But that would not have to pay so much as a lifeguard with the insurance and all the protocol along those things. So I wanted to suggest that to you guys to maybe think about something along those lines, that maybe this would be something that could be financially done. Maybe it would up the safety in that area. Let's say you get a kid down there who's 9 years old and is going to go jump in the water. That monitor can say, you need to go. You cannot be here. You are underage. You do not have anybody with you. And that would help to keep that a safe place. I know that maybe there was a suggestion that that would be used as a babysitter. Having a pool monitor or lifeguard is somebody who is watching the pool, whether it's adults or kids along those lines. And maybe this is something along those lines, but that would be within the guides that we could do this at and have somebody down there so it would be safe. Jerry Cole in the paperwork, he went down there and took his picture and said, what an amazing place we have. What a relic this is. He didn't go somewhere else to have it done. He didn't do the Vernonia Lake. He did it here because this is a one-of-a-kind thing. Other towns don't do this. And maybe we don't want to advertise that so that people are streaming in here, right? It's not like a secret little niche kind of thing going on, but we have an amazing park. It's right downtown. Everybody can see it, whether your car is passing by, tourists, and we need to upkeep that. And when I became part on the Parks Committee, I thought, what park needs some help in our town? And I'm in charge of Nehalem Park out there by the airport. Hawkins is not mine. The person who was running Hawkins stepped down in November and has just recently been given over to someone else. Carrie Brown has joined us. But if it can't be put into the budget, I know there's a big project going on with the RV park, and that's going to take a lot of funding. But this is a little amount that would benefit the people of this town. It would benefit the tourists along those lines. Do you guys have any questions for me?
No, I'm going to clean it tomorrow.
Are you going to clean it?
No.
I thought about going down there once a week this summer and cleaning it myself because I knew this would be
Yeah.
too soon to get somebody in for this year. But maybe this could be something budgeted in for next year that we could look at. It was something that used to be budgeted in. We used to have a lifeguard and now we don't. And since then, now we have $50 park fees. We can go get a sticker that gets paid. There was also cannabis. We should be getting 3% from medical marijuana that's going into our budget now. So there's a couple other things that have come in our budget since we did have the lifeguard, when we could afford it back then. So, thank you guys for your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
Well put together.
What was
Yeah.
that?
But thank you, well put together.
Yeah, thank you for doing this. Okay, any other topics?
Thank you. No, that was it.
Okay.
I see on the news that out in the valley, that anybody who has children under 14 has to have an adult for each child,
Wow.
No,
something we could consider.
okay. Consent agenda for acceptance, consent agenda for approval, city council meeting minutes for May 27th, 2026, city council meeting minutes for June 1st, 2026. Any discussion or questions?
I'll move to accept the consent agenda for approval.
So moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye. Motion carried. Any unfinished business tonight? Doesn't look like it. Let's move into new business. Staff report, future grant opportunity inclusion, page 4 through 7.
Okay, this staff report's from me that when we went to the, excuse me, the Board of Commissioners meeting in St. Helens to talk to him about police coverage and helping us out with on-call gaps. Tyler Miller, who's a City of Scappoose council president, had sent Sean and I an email a month previous asking if we wanted to be part of a radio grant. Sean at the time didn't want to, so Columbia City and Rainier were included in that grant. The point and goal of Columbia 911 is to get all of us off UHF radios and to the 800 megawatts radios, because ultimately, if we're all on those bigger systems, we can talk with state police, we can talk with Washington County, and then the upgrades to our system would cover everyone. So the city of Scappoose is going for another grant in July, where they're willing, should they meet the criteria, they were having their applicant meeting in the next couple of weeks. Should they meet the criteria to apply for it, they were willing to have Vernonia be one of the participants. The reason I gave you the MOU from the original grant is to see what would be required of us. So the city of Scappoose really takes the onerous of reporting, dealing with the money, the purchasing, all of that. And we're really just having to audit that the radios are being used, perhaps how many calls are coming through on them. Sean and I push more questions to Tyler. So the programming and the maintenance would not be by Tate, which is what we were kind of nervous about because there was a connection there. And it would be by Washington County. And the reason it has to be by one of those bigger agencies is there's an actual encoder key that the smaller maintenance shops and wireless programmers don't have. It's held within the different first responders. So this staff report is to get council's blessing to work with Tyler should we meet the criteria and be included under the city of Scappoose's grant application for radios for our PD.
Josette?
Yeah.
Got another email from, did you see the one from Tyler today on the future grant, the MOU? It actually is through the city of Portland.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't.
You could read it tomorrow.
It must have
Yeah.
come in the end of my day, yeah.
Yeah, but I read through it today.
Yeah.
Looked pretty.
So it's really, they're trying to get all the first responders on the same type of radio. So the systems talk to each other. So there's not gaps where you go towards Washington County. And if we're still UHF and they're the 800 megawatt, then we have drop zones. And that's ultimately, we don't want to start repairing the towers and that infrastructure if we're not matching. We would put UHF infrastructure up there and then we'd have gaps. So that's what the county through Casey Garrett is one of the commissioners that's kind of pushing for that, to try and get our county and all the first responders on the same radios via grants because they know the small jurisdictions can't afford it.
Plus, it's almost $50,000 of free new
Yeah.
radio equipment.
And I think when we pushed back on Tyler and kind of got some more of the details, it took a little bit of the worry Sean had off of it because we were kind of, it's always hard when everyone's kind of pushing you down one thing and you're like, who's doing this? Who do we have to work with? What's going to be the deal? So I think some of those questions were answered today, but so this is for you guys to basically allow me to be part of the discussion and you would have to approve the MOU. You would have to approve all the steps along the way if we are an applicant and are awarded. So it's not like this is the only time you'll hear of it. I'll have to bring you back the actual formal documents and everything for future blessing. But I just didn't, if you guys were against it, I didn't want to start down the road of participating and talking with them and giving them our data if it isn't something council's wanting to go for.
Yeah.
So I just seen the one provision, any cost overruns be on us. So I mean, that's a detailed question as to what we'd be receiving, what our actual costs would actually be. You probably aren't, you haven't probably went down that road.
No, I haven't done any of the talking, but that, if that's a concern, I can make sure that, you know, how did it work out for Columbia City and Rainier in their last grant?
Yeah.
Did they experience any? I could get all that
Yeah.
information. Okay.
That'd be my only hesitation.
Okay.
And Scappoose.
Yeah. The other, I'm only thinking little cities because Scappoose probably could potentially cover that. Yeah.
Stephanie.
I have a question from Councilor Wagner.
Yes.
She asked, was there a response to the city's letter from the county? Was there a response from the county from the city's letter?
Not that I've received.
Thank you.
The only response we got was the same day we
From
sent it
Sheriff Pixley.
from Sheriff Pixley. So,
And that seems to be working as of right now.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any other questions or discussions, Susan, on the radios MOU item?
No, thank you. My comment would be though, it is not unusual. Actually, it's very common for particularly smaller communities to partner in grants such as this, like with CDBG. Somebody has to take the lead, everybody else gets to tag on to the tail coats of it. And I think that it's, I am glad to see this has come forward to us.
Good, thank you. Any other discussion?
Well, I'm kind of like Dale, speaking more directly and as well. How, if we get into this, the city be paying for it in the future, how are they going to collect money from the people in the county that are not in the city to help pay this?
So say that again.
So in the future, if we get charged X amount of dollars a month for this system, what about the people outside of the city limits of Vernonia? Is the county going to get charged for them, or are we going to get charged for them?
So you just get charged by radio for the maintenance and programming, which is already an expense we pay with our current radios that's in the budget. But I could ask that question also when I ask about cost overruns, like if there's, is it just us and our little thing and we're not, everybody else is covered by the county sheriff if they're unincorporated? I could ask that question.
And I think you might be conflating with what we heard from Sean about the city being charged because 911 wasn't funded. Was that more?
Yeah, that has not, they have not come back with the user fee. They backtracked on that because they got a lot of from all of us, like, are you kidding? So they haven't, that hasn't come back, the idea of a user fee at this point, because that was kind of a threat when their levy didn't pass, or they were saying if the levy doesn't pass, but they haven't, they kind of poo-pooed that because it didn't go well with all of us. And we're like, we're already paying, we're already, our citizens are already part of it.
But that is a fiscal reality though for them. And I think they do have the right to charge that.
They'd have to have an agreement, and they don't have that in the agreement per, and the weird part is based on the budget, it wasn't mathing. So like, when you take what's unincorporated around St. Helens, right? St. Helens was paying this weird times amount than we were paying sometimes. It didn't math.
That's to his point. The people in unincorporated areas, there's not a mechanism.
Well, it'd be under the county sheriff.
County.
Yeah. And the county would have to pay a big portion of all the unincorporated. And that's what wasn't mathing. The other thing is 911's looking at, do they, scaling back, what is really necessary to do that service? Is dispatch, is someone in there, right? And then is ultimately this system, and the more we can get paid for with grants, the further the tax money goes to put up the other infrastructure that needs to be done. At one point, they were talking about like new stations. They've kind of backtracked on that, new call stations. We're going to kind of float with what we have and use what we've got until we have a plan that makes sense to buy all the things that work together, is from the last meeting I was part of. But yeah, it would be county.
Are the fire departments being upgraded too?
They're all of them go to meetings under 911. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, to this new radio.
I believe there's some fire departments that already use that. So it's just kind of, and I could ask, is there a chance for, if our fire department isn't using the newer ones, could our fire department piggyback with us? So all of Vernonia is together in a grant. I can ask that too.
So is this radio system going to be switched over to the people we have doing the 911 calls, or are they going to have to start a new bunch of people?
No, it's the goal would be to get us all on the same radio system, still the same 911. 911 district is our district. There's no new organization.
Be upgrading our radio system.
Yeah.
Radios.
Right. But it seems like they've been wanting to totally get rid of 911 over there.
Well, I think their boards had some different directors that had different ideas. I think that's not the case anymore. The board's got a pretty good handle on it. And they're kind of all looking the same direction now, where it used to be kind of fire and PD were split because they like this version, they like this version. And kind of everyone's realizing we can't be fighting amongst ourselves because no one's coming to save us. So we have to save ourselves. So yeah, if you guys bless this, then I'll get those questions asked and just do whatever I can to work with them about getting the application in.
So if we want to bless it, we need to make a motion to.
So I'll move that the city administrator may work with the city of Scappoose on submitting our city information in order to apply for a law enforcement radios grant funding.
So moved. Thank you, Counselor Webb. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Didn't hear your vote, Susan.
That was an aye.
Okay.
What was Donna's?
Nay.
Nay.
I want to make sure I heard you correct. Thank you.
Motion carried. Okay. Business from the departments. Ordinances and resolutions. Moving right into the public hearing. Public hearing fiscal year 2026, 2027 budget adoption. This is the time scheduled for a public hearing regarding acceptance of the city of the Vernonia fiscal year 2026, 2027 city budget as presented by staff. So I will open up this hearing at 6:56 PM. And then I will ask, we will now take public testimony. Each person will be allowed 5 minutes. After everyone has had the opportunity to speak, we will close the public hearing and deliberate. The following are the rules of order. No person shall speak without first being recognized by the chair and stating his or her full name and residence address. No person shall be disorderly, abusive, or disruptive of the orderly conduct of the hearing. 3, there shall be no audience demonstrations such as applause, cheering, display, signs, or conduct disruptive of the hearing. Such conduct may be grounds for immediate termination of this hearing by the council. Number 4, no person shall present irrelevant, immaterial, or unduly repetitious oral argument. Number 5, the mayor, members of the council, and with the approval of the chair, the city attorney and any other officer or employee of the city may question any person who submits oral argument. 6, the council may set time limitations for this proceeding, but in doing so must provide proponents and opponents equal time to present arguments. The time limit will be set for 30 minutes. We will now take public testimony. In order to use our time efficiently, you are requested not to repeat testimony or read testimony already submitted in writing. Prior to addressing the council, each person shall come to the podium and state his or her name and address, which will become public record. After everyone has had the opportunity to speak, we will close the public hearing and begin deliberations. Are there any proponents who wish to speak in favor of the acceptance of the city of Vernonia fiscal year 2026, 2027 city budget as presented by the staff? Nobody online? Okay. Are there any opponents who wish to speak against the acceptance of the city of Vernonia fiscal year 2026, 2027 city budget as presented by the staff? Is there anyone who is neither for nor against the acceptance of the city of the Vernonia fiscal year 2026, 2027 city budget as presented by the staff? Okay, moving on. Is there any rebuttal from the staff? Okay, this concludes the public testimony and oral argument portion of the hearing. I will now close the public hearing at 7:00 PM. We will now begin deliberations.
So, excuse me, Mr. King, here, when we changed the water operating fund to budget that transfer out, we overlooked the fact that all of the cash carry forward was restricted. So we have to unrestrict the $15,000 that we're transferring out of that fund in order to make that transfer. So we just need to make that amendment before we adopt the budget.
Before we adopt the budget?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need a motion for that?
Need a motion or do we just?
Your deal.
Probably.
Your motion to adopt
With
with
the
that one
amendment,
amendment,
yeah.
so it could just be one motion.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you do the motion to adopt the budget, you just adopt it with the
Stated amendment.
statement amendment, yeah. So all I'm doing is taking the 15,000 that's currently in the restricted cash carry forward,
And making it
moving
in.
it to available cash on hand. So
Did you hear that okay, Susan?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. With the image. So it's written there on page 8 for everyone to see, actually. Operating reserve to the operating fund. Any other questions or discussions? Well, I already had the public hearing. Would like to make a motion?
Want me to help you figure out what that is?
No, I think
So you'd be adopting the resolution with the change.
with this amendment. Yeah. All right, so I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 2026-06, resolution city council, the city of Vernonia, Oregon, adopting the fiscal year budget 2026-2027, making appropriations, imposing the taxes, and categorizing the taxes for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026, with the amendment of reclassifying $15,000 from the restricted cash on hand and making it to available cash on hand.
In the water operating reserve.
And the water operating reserve fund. Yes.
Good job, Dale. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I,
Motion carried. Congratulations.
another one down.
Okay, we have a master fee schedule. Resolution 2026-07. Page 11 through 16.
So this new master fee schedule includes the updates to all the utility rates and one increase to administrative fees under finance director, so it matches her charge. That way, should we get like a records request, we could charge what she charges us. Also includes
Airport.
hold on my way down.
Oh, okay.
I want to make sure I don't miss anything, sorry. Includes increase in airport fees under tie down and TTF ingress egress for commercial operations. And also an increase in police department fees, which is the first time that that's happened since I've worked here. Just to kind of keep up with the times, how much time it takes them for those items, so. Yeah, nothing big or of note this year.
So the airport used to be like $40 for the,
Used to be 25
oh, 25.
and it used to be 15 and 30. And so it's 25 and 30. Or it used to be, sorry, it used to be 15 and 25 and they upped it to 30 or $300 minimum for ingress egress. That's someone coming in and out on a
Yeah.
regular, yeah.
Not much else has gone up. I mean,
No.
yeah. Yeah.
Could I just make a suggestion in the future, we highlight on those when we're looking at our document, be easier for us to spot them.
I could present you a different one. So they used to be highlighted when it was an update, but now it's not an update, it's a replacement. I can come up with something for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just not be on the adopted version.
Because, when we get our packet, we don't know, and I can't have an informed discussion on it,
Makes sense.
not knowing where they're at. I don't have a problem with any of these.
I was kind of curious, how many niches are left on the columbarium? As we talked about.
Well, you have both sides
Right.
and we have probably 9 spots on the front still. And I believe almost 15 on the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're still okay for, I mean,
Yeah, it'll pay for the next one once they're all full, so, yeah.
yeah. Then it's probably when it gets a little closer to being full, then some discussion
Yeah,
for,
for planning the next one.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just curious.
Mhm.
Oh. Okay, any more questions or discussions on the master fee?
I'll make a resolution, adopt resolution, I'll make a motion, excuse me, adopt resolution number 2026-07. Resolution providing for adoption of new and revised master fee schedule and rescinding resolution 2025-03.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. Resolution, one more, 2026-08, naming McNair Forest. It's 17. Yeah, go ahead, Dale. Can you give us a little history on when those trees were planted and
Oh, man.
how they're doing? And
We had an original planning, I think about 4 years after the lagoon dike rising project. And then that wasn't too successful. And so then Bruce and I brainstormed about, and Bruce was the one that was, we had some timber down there and let's get a logger in here. We logged, we didn't get a lot of value, but better than getting nothing. And
Right.
I mean, it helped pay. Bruce was always, interested in our timberlands and inland when we needed to log it. And I think it was Bruce and we had those discussions way back. It was like, man, I remember walking that with him down there and it's like, let's get this in production. I mean, return it back to what it used to be. It used to be a forest. When they did the mill, it converted it to an upland. And so anyhow, and then I can't leave this part out. It's not the main driver of why I'm doing this, or wanted to do this, but Bruce always gave me a bad time. Says, what does the person have to do to get their name on something this town wet?
Way.
Yeah, Webway, the Webnob or whatever.
well, I got to make a comment. You are getting back at him, and if Bruce was here, he'd probably say your idea was ostentatious because he called the web bench an ostentatious idea.
Mayor Hobart, I meant to speak during topics from the floor to this item, and I forgot when I got here. Would you give me just a minute to say a thing or two? That'd be okay.
Go ahead, Scott.
Thank you, I appreciate that. You know, I lived across the street from Bruce when I first moved to Vernonia for a number of years. He slept on my couch on December 3rd when the flood happened because his house was 4 feet underwater and ours was about that close to coming in. He sat on the porch and watched it. And when the opportunity came for the opening on the council, Josette will remember this, there were 3 open seats, and I believe it was you and Randy that were on the council. And rather than appoint 3 members, they decided to put together a citizens committee or panel, and then that panel interviewed the applicants. And my wife and I told Bruce he should apply for the city council. He thought that was the craziest idea. Nobody in this town wants me to be on the council. Nobody would trust me with the business of the town. And I said, no, Bruce, we talked him into putting his name in that. And that citizen panel picked Donna Webb and Kim Tierney and Bruce McNair. And he was so surprised when he got picked. And I know he was really honored. Sitting here as I watched him on the dais, he was a great counselor. He did amazing work. And, he wasn't always the easiest person to like, but he did good work. I really appreciate, Dale, that you brought this forward to honor him. I think it's a great way to honor his legacy as a member of this community and as a servant to the city. And, so thank you for doing it. I think he'd be very proud to have his name on this. Thank you very much, Mayor. I appreciate it.
And that was, and thanks Scott for bringing that up, because it wasn't just the forestry in for Bruce. Bruce was not a man of a lot of means, you know, and he was very honest to that why. And how he changed himself over time and became a contributing citizen to our town. And you know, you have to really respect that. The other thing he brought up here is you would have a discussion. Everything got discussed. I've been a little rough around the edges at times, but that's fine. The other thing he brought was, and every counselor, mayors, everybody should learn. Bruce set the example of how to communicate with staff, coming in with the administrator, sitting down, don't let anything fester, get in there, discuss it. I know personally, once I got on the council, or before I was even on the council, when I was on Public Works Committee, we'd use each other for a sounding board. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? You know, and flush things out. You know, and of course you got to be careful. It's real meeting laws, but I think it really served the citizens well, because then things were thought through, wasn't knee jerk. I know back when we were going through all the rate changes, and he was struggling with that some, and boy, we had some really good discussions. And Bruce was a guy, he might be kind of going in one direction, but if you made that good argument, he would change his mind and he would back it. And I always liked that about Bruce. So Bruce was an interesting story that, and like you brought up, well, nobody would want me on there. No, he brought a perspective to this city that was needed. And we always need to remember that. And so that's why I wanted to get his name on a sign down there. And we've been calling it, and let's just make it official. And I'm kind of hoping to this fall, maybe we'll do the dedication of the sign, and I can give people tours of the forest that is growing down there. So anyhow, thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Would you like to take the honor of making the motion?
I sure would.
Good.
So I'll move to adopt resolution number 2026-08, a a resolution naming the city timber tract at the Old Mill Marsh site as McNair Forest.
Second.
Gladly second that
I
motion.
figured so. Counselor Norman second, and all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Thank you very much, Dale. Appreciate it. Yep. Any correspondence? We do have a city-county dinner coming up Thursday night at 6 PM at the senior center, so. City administrator report, nothing tonight. Yeah,
Next
next
meeting.
first, yeah. Items from the mayor and councilors. Dale.
I don't know if any of you were on Facebook or not. We've been having a little bit of issues down at the Lake Pumpkin. I came in and talked to Josette today. We're trying to come up with some ideas. And a lot of it's just education, and that's why I made the posts that I did on Facebook about it. Try to educate people. I don't know if I was totally successful or not, because I had somebody doing it right after I posted it the next day. But whether they'd seen it or not, it was a local. And it's just a matter of there's a pool there that gets a lot of sediment and algae builds. We get a lot of algae in the river this time of year. I mean, it's just green. And a lot of people like to run their dogs through there, and then it stirs it all up. Well, when you're sucking 600 gallons a minute, it draws it all over there, and it goes in those little tiny holes, fish screen, which gets a little algae and then that sediment on them. And I go down there and the pumps are off. And before that, it's starving them. So we're sitting there burning electricity and not getting much for it before they automatically trip off once they get so low. So anyhow, just trying to come up with a solution to try to keep people out of there. I have been suggesting people use, there was a trail and somebody online mentioned it, and I can't remember his name. There was a youth corps or something in town, and they put trails down along the river. There used to be a trail that wound down through there next to the river and come back out. Well, it never got maintained and trees fell on it and it went away. But the one there, it's where Bluebeard always fishes down there. He's a regular. And people have been using that in the fall for watching salmon or poaching salmon, as it could be sometimes happens. Anyhow, I've been suggesting people go down and use that one. But after talking to that person the other day and suggesting that, I went down there and looked at it, and I was like, well, somebody in shorts isn't going to want to walk down there. It's pretty brushed up. So I was pretty wound up. So I went home, got the weed eater, and down there and brushed it all out, and took my hazel hole, and it's a little steep in spots. It needs some steps. So I just dirt steps in there for make it safer. So I'm trying to really push people to use that. So we've had this issue in the past. I've mentioned it, so I don't know.
We might still end up with a sign
Yeah,
or even a kind of don't come this way.
I don't know.
That's
And signs, you know what happens to signs. I mean, people suggest.
half the time they don't read them.
Well, that's true, but where that trail was had a sign. It said trail. It's not there anymore. So graffiti stickers are a big thing down at the mill. It's a constant. Tim's constantly cleaning up the pump station, and one of these days I'm going to catch one of them. Well, I thought I had one here a few years back. I seen a guy bent over and he was spray painting out there at the junction of right there in the corner. And I had my phone out. I'm going to get a picture. I'm going to call 911. And it's John Rohde putting the marker for the runners.
It was the track. It was
Really deflated me right there.
got a big
Should've
one.
called 911 anyway.
So we'll work our way through that. I really hate to restrict access to the river. River access is a big deal. And then what the legalities are, I don't know. We'll see. We can educate enough to get us by.
Let's get together and we'll do an article in the paper about it.
Oh, that would be good.
See, educate some people that way.
Yeah, and but the thing a lot of people were throwing back was our outside visitors, how are they gonna know? So it's maybe a sign that says no over here and yes over here. And the reason why, I don't know. So,
Okay, thanks, Dale. Susan, do you have anything else tonight?
I do not tonight, and I appreciate your allowing me to do this remotely.
I'm glad you were with us tonight. How's everything in Colorado?
The weather is spectacular. I miss forests that look like Oregon forests. Colorado forests are very sparse comparatively.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law is doing all right, but not
good.
not great, but that's okay. We're doing what we have to do here.
Well, thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight.
I have one other thing for city administrator, and I didn't even look. With the loss of the city administrator from St. Helens, is there any talk of doing the half mast on the flag?
The different cities have done it. Like Rainier did it on Sunday. St. Helens has it done. I haven't heard of the other ones doing it yet.
Yeah.
They're doing it from now till the end of the week,
Yeah.
Yeah,
till the 19th.
we could do it. I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys could just
Yeah, I'd like,
claim that that's what you want, right?
I think so. It'd be the first one who've ever done it, obviously.
I think we should.
I can do that.
Yep. Till Friday, 19th.
How about Thursday or Monday? Since we won't be here on
Oh,
Friday.
yeah.
Oh,
How about Monday?
Monday, the next Monday.
Because we're
Sure.
closed Friday.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to make it Thursday night or not. It's hard to say.
The mayor might.
Mayor might, yeah. Okay. All right, anything else? Okay, action item summary, Josette.
Okay, so we're gonna take Erica's packet and look into that for a future idea, Dewey Pool. And then when working with Scappoose or City of Portland for the future funding, we're gonna look at, did the prior small cities experience any cost overruns? Would Vernonia just be paying for Vernonia's radios and the service associated with them? And is there an opportunity, or is Vernonia Fire already on the new type? And that's what I got.
Good.
Okay, thank you for all attending. I will adjourn the meeting at 7:25. Meeting adjourned.